And they, or rather Joe, now that Abigail's increasingly ornery and tired, have to pick up after him the days the housekeeper doesn't come. Robert shouldn't be let off the hook. It's so patriarchal, not to mention lame. She's been stacking junk mail on the right and bills and such on the left, and then she comes upon the letter, which is addressed, weirdly enough, to her. Josephine Margaret Lavoie. It's so startling that she just stands there drinking in the strangeness. It's from a Nathaniel Fletcher, Esquire, in St. Johnsbury, Vermont. Vermont. A tendril of unease snakes up through her belly into her throat. She tears at the envelope, unfolds the single sheet, and scans the contents. "Mom?" she calls. "Mom! What?" Her mother screams from some other part of the house. "Why do you always yell? Why can't you just find me?" "Where are you?" Joe hollers, now in the hallway. "Upstairs!" Abigail screeches. Joe takes the stairs 2 at a time. Her mom is in front of her wardrobe mirrors, wearing the dress she spent hours choosing at Nordstrom while Joe died of boredom. "I look like a whale," she says in despair. "Gammy Maureen's dead," Joe says, holding up the letter. "She left me the house." Abigail's mouth opens in shock. Their eyes hold in the mirror. Slowly, Abigail turns around. "She what?" Robert takes over deciphering the legalese when he comes back from tennis. He stands in the front hall, pink-cheeked and dripping, frowning down at the letter. Abigail peers over his elbow while Joe frets, watching, waiting. A whole house left to her. She owns an actual house, even if it's that one. She feels a twinge of guilt that she's more focused on the house than Gammy Maureen being dead. But in her defense, Joe barely knew her. The last time anyone even heard from Gammy was 2 years ago at the funeral. She showed up in an ancient Cadillac, having driven on her own all the way from Vermont. The gathering for Joe's dad, Enzo, was pitifully small, and when she limped in, everyone stared. She stood out with her long gray braids and wrinkled linen outfit and leather sandals. She spoke to no one, just sat there with her hands clasped in a fist. At the end of it, on the steps outside, she stopped in front of Abigail and said, "You ruined his life." Abigail was too shocked to reply, and Gammy Maureen tromped down the steps to her boat of a car, threw her cane in the back seat, and roared off. In the moments after, Abigail feigned indifference, calling Gammy crazy as a sack of cats and an irrational old hag. But later that night she blew up, storming around the kitchen. "So now I'm responsible for everything?" she ranted. "He chose me and she never got over it. Crazy old cow. She's the one that drove him crazy, not me." Then she screamed at Robert and smashed a dish when he remarked that she was having more cigarettes than her usual 2 per day. For her part, Joe couldn't believe someone so old, she had to be about 80, drove all the way from Vermont and back in 1 day alone. It was really striking, that determination, that abiding love. The mess of everything and the distance and the sadness encapsulated by this old lady's long, lonely journey, and the will she had to deliver just the one sentence like a whip. It was hard not to be impressed, despite her mom's humiliation. It was also amazing that Gammy hadn't changed at all from when Joe met her, like she'd stepped right through time in her same musty farm clothes, striding tall with no care for anyone's opinion. In fact, now that Gammy's gone, Joe realizes she'd imagined her there on the farm just trucking along forever. But she's dead. It's truly a shock. And the house, that it's Joe's.